Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hazeeq, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Kaspa. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Taking a look at the daily chart, you can see that we lost this support trend line that has held us up since May 2024. So for a good 3 months or so, we had been back testing this as support. But finally, this trend line gave out and we dropped below it in August, and seemingly we are going to be in a at least short-term downtrend. It depends on how the markets continue dropping, or if they continue dropping, if we're going to have another massive crash in a bit after a small retracement, because sometimes what happens is you have a crash, retracement, a brief retracement, just a relief rally, and then you continue crashing. So it depends on what the markets is going to give us, and then we obviously have to react to that and adjust to the environment. Now we have our bottom here in May 2024. That is going to be a pretty significant level for us to retest if we continue coming back down, and that would be a very good level to hold as support. You're going to see it visualized better on the weekly chart, but on the daily, the 20 EMA is curling down to cross the 55 EMA, and it's okay if that happens on the daily. This is not a major time frame, so these crosses happen every so often. So we had one here back in March 2024, and this was a 46% correction. Then we had a bullish cross in May 2024, and this was a 103% move to the upside. So if we have a 40% correction or 46% correction, or even around 50%, that would take us down to 10 cents. Keep in mind, lots of altcoins have dropped 50 to 75%, so it's possible Kaspa is going to drop even lower than 10 cents. However, it's also worth noting that Kaspa has been performing well during all of these Bitcoin crashes. So the biggest one that I can see here is the one that we had in April 2023. That was a 72% crash. So that was a really good entry point. But after that, we haven't really had massive crashes like that. All of them were 50% and below. And of course, the chart looks amazing. Anyone who entered Kaspa in 2022 has made very, very good profits. And congratulations, that was a really good entry. I had no idea about Kaspa back in 2022, unfortunately. But let's switch over to the weekly chart so we can take a look at our targets. And before we continue with the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon. If you're interested in getting more exclusive content, you want to support me as a creator, and you like what you're seeing here on YouTube and you want more, feel free to check out the Patreon. That's definitely a place for you. There's a 7-day free trial, which means you can get access to all of my content since the inception of the page. So that means you get podcasts, low cap gems, technical analysis, project reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We try to do posts there on a daily basis. We cover airdrops and a lot of stuff that we don't really cover on YouTube because we don't have as much time. And of course, because patrons get more stuff and more content. And if you're interested in that, the link is down below in the description. Thank you all. Let's continue on with the video. All right, so you can see we have this support block set up between 10 cents and 0.108 cents. So 10 to 10.8, and we have retested this multiple times in December 2023 and in January 2024, and then once again in April 2024. So coming back down to that same support block is a possibility. Now we are losing the 10 EMA and the 20 EMA here briefly with this wick. However, if we close our candles above the 20 EMA on the weekly, that will be a bullish sign showing strength. But it's worth noting that there is no major issues with us coming back down to the 55, retesting the 55 EMA and bouncing from there and continuing the uptrend. Because we do need, sometimes we do need these bigger corrections with our altcoins. It's not it's not healthy going up all the time without corrections, without major corrections. So this one in March that I mentioned already was a 70% correction. If we were to see a 70% correction right now, you know, that would take us down to 6 cents. So I'm not saying that is going to happen, but I'm saying that the 55 EMA and the 10 cents region here is very likely at this moment in time, seeing how the markets are performing. But it's possible Kaspa is not going to adhere to what the other altcoins are doing, because it has shown strength during times of weakness amongst altcoins. So if we take a look at the RSI and we take a look at the price action, you can immediately tell that there is a bearish divergence, and quite a large one at that. So here you have a top in February 2024 and you have a lower high in June 2024. If you switch over to the price action chart, you can see that we have a high in February 2024, just like with the RSI, and we have a higher high in July 2024. Now this is a higher high and this is a lower high. The problem with this is that this is a divergence between the price action and the RSI, and usually this leads to a correction. So we had one over here as well, and this, you know, was, let's see, yeah, this was around 46%. So that correction was 46% when we had this bearish divergence. Let me just outline it again. So this bearish divergence played out. Then after that, we had a bullish divergence. Over here, you can see the low in January and then the low in April. And here you had a low and a higher low. And here you had a low and a lower low. That was a bullish divergence, and that played out. We had a nice 2x move to the upside. But once again, we're facing a bearish divergence, and this could take us down to the 55 EMA. Like I said, that would be a 43% correction, which is okay. Right now we're sitting at 39%, and it's possible we're going to go lower. So make sure to set up some buy limit orders just in case Kaspa wants to dip below 11 cents. You never know. It's always good to have buy limit orders set up because you can catch those wicks even if you're asleep. Taking a look at the stochastic, we are on our way down, but this is not where you want to be buying, right? Because we're sitting at the March 2024 top that was our all-time high just a few months ago. So this is a bit expensive in my opinion, a bit too high. We want to see a retracement. The 55 EMA is where you can start entering, and then if we have a dip below that into the block that I showed you here, the support block, then make sure to pick up some altcoins or some tokens in there. Of course, this is not financial advice by any means. Now, a bearish scenario which we always want to look at is us breaking below this January 2024 low. And some people are obviously going to say that that's not going to happen, and I'm not here to tell you what is or what isn't going to happen. I'm here to show you both possibilities. So if we were to start crashing below the January 2024 low, we have these three extension levels. So the 1.272, the 1.414, and the 1.618. And your technical target is going to be the 1.618. That is what we usually target on a fib after we break below the first fib level, which in this case is this low from January 2024. So we're going to be looking at 0.0677 cents from where we are right now. Okay, from where we are right now, that is a 59% correction. And then from the all-time high, that is a 68% correction. Is that going to happen? That's up, that's up to time to tell us. But should you be concerned, and should you be looking at those potential levels? Of course. So you can set up a buy limit order at 0.0847 cents as well. That's the 1.272. That's the minimal target below the golden block that we have. And then we have the 1.414 sitting at 0.077 cents. That's another extension. So we have the 1.272, the 1.414, and the 1.618. You can take a look at the settings of my fib retracement. And you can pause the video and just take a look at all of the settings there. Of course, we have the fib levels based on log scale. And that's pretty much it. that's the breakdown for Kaspa, guys. And if you are looking for targets to the upside, it's very hard to predict or even set targets when you don't have any data in front of you. So we've never been, above 20 cents or 20.5 cents. So all we can do is we can set up Fibonacci retracements, and we can target some levels based on math. That's the best we can do. So we're looking at 28 cents here at the 1.618. If our bottom is going to be at 10 cents and we're going to take this local top from June as the top for the fib, then we're looking at 27 cents. Before we do that, we have to wait until the bottom here is completed. We want to wait until we see where our local bottom is going to be, and then we can start setting those fib retracements. But this is looking like it's going to be a hammer candle, and that's usually a very bullish candle for us to have. So we'll see where the weekly closure is going to be. Once again, if it's above the 20 EMA, that is extremely bullish, but if it's going to be somewhere above the 55, that's also fine. Like, it's okay if the EMAs want to come back closer together, right? We just hover above the 55 for a few weeks while the 20 catches back up with the 20 or with the 55. So we want them to be as close as possible before the next move to the upside. That's actually going to be a good thing, because the further they are apart, the higher the chances of a correction, and that's something to keep in mind as well. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe and take care.